Gentlemen, there is a war raging right now with the Magisterium, between those trying to keep us in ignorance and those willing to fight for truth and freedom. Who will stand with me?
This kind of heresy is of the highest priority to the Magisterium. I need to know where he's going and what he intends to achieve.
Your uncle's packing up to leave.
You're not leaving!
I can't stay! The North is no place for a child.
Lyra, the Master has asked if I can find a place for you. And I want you as my assistant.
You're an explorer too, just like my uncle.
I can teach you to wield power, but you must let me mold you.
We believe there is an organization that is stealing children and taking them north.
Sometimes children can just disappear.
I promised to do everything I could to protect you from harm. This, it's an alethiometer. It is illegal unless approved by the Magisterium.
What does it do?
It tells you the truth. She has to make a journey. One which I'm afraid includes a great betrayal.
Lyra? It's trying to warn me of something.
I suspect it's trying to warn you of everything.
Lee Scoresby, I can fight. I can fly.
What question should we be asking you that we are not?
The Magisterium have muscle. I would ask where I could obtain the services of an armored bear.
Yorick Bernison. I'm ready to fight.
These people need our help, Yorick. Let's go give it.
How am I supposed to trust you when no one tells me the truth?
It's time.
I know.
Hey everyone, it's Fentony. I'm about to introduce a new topic to the channel, His Dark Materials, which will be a new TV show from HBO and BBC coming out later this year. I imagine some of you guys would have read the books, but also this is probably the first time you're hearing about it, or maybe you might remember the Golden Compass film, you know, the one with the big polar bear on the front. It came out back in 2007, and it's not a bad movie, but it's not accurate to the books, so a lot of the fans of the books did not like it, and I believe there's a lot of censorship when it comes to the religious side of the books. But the new show is meant to be much more faithful to the books. As for me, I've just started the books, I'm over halfway through the first novel, Northern Lights. I was going to wait until I finished that novel before I made a video on the channel, but I just want to talk about it. But I'm not really going to spoil anything for you guys, and honestly I really can't do that. I've just dipped my foot in the water, but that's alright. I know some of you guys will have read the books and you don't really care about spoilers because you know it all, but I also know some of you guys will have not read the books, maybe this is the first time you've heard about the series, and you prefer not to be spoiled when you watch the show. But I 100% recommend picking the books up. If you know nothing about this series, the official description with no spoilers includes, His Dark Materials is set in an alternative world where all humans have animal companions called demons, which are the manifestation of the human soul. The series follows the life of young Lyra, who is an orphan living with the tutors at Jordan College, Oxford. As in Pullman's novel, Lyra discovers a dangerous secret that involves Lord Asriel and Marissa Coulter. In her search for her missing friend, Lyra also uncovers a slew of kidnappings, and it's linked to the mysterious substance called dust. So my plan is to get as much of this series done as possible before the show airs. I think it's going to be one season per one book, so season 1 is just going to be the first book, Northern Lights, so that's not a problem. I'm definitely going to get it finished. There's no release date yet for season 1, but it's meant to be towards the end of this year. They've got some trailers and more footage out there, so it's coming, and I think they'll confirm a date very soon. They've also confirmed season 2, and I believe they're going to start filming that. Maybe they've already started, I'm not sure on that one, but I don't think they've confirmed season 3 yet. But it's likely they're going to wait and see the reception towards the first season. There's going to be 8 episodes in season 1, and I think the same for season 2. Maybe season 3 will continue that trend, or maybe have just a couple more. But this is pretty new to me. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert. I love making videos on stuff that I grew up with, such as Lord of the Rings and Fantastic Beasts, but I also love discovering new topics, new shows and new books. I love finding my way into these worlds, learning more about them, and discussing it with you guys. But please just don't spoil it for me or anyone else in the comments. I have been aware of this show for some time, and of course the books as well. I remember watching the trailer back at Comic-Con and thinking, yeah, I'm gonna have to get these books done, talk about them on the channel. The main characters for season 1 are going to be Lyra Blackwell, played by Daphne Keane. You'll probably remember her as X-23 from Logan. Ruth Wilson will be Marissa Coulter, and James McAvoy will be Lord Asriel. I'm not familiar with the majority of the cast list, but when I watched the trailer, it just felt right. It kind of felt like going straight from the page to the screen, or at least from what I've done so far. When I watched these scenes, I could remember that scene happening in the books, so that's good, that's a plus. My favourite part of the trailer was definitely when Yorick Burnison appeared, the Armoured Bear, and I think he looks incredible. I've just met him in the books and he's already one of my favourite characters. I love his introduction and I can't wait to see more of him. My only concern about the new TV show is it's meant to have a more modern feel, but supposedly that's not going to affect the story at all. Honestly, I don't like changing stuff just for the sake of changing. There has to be a reason behind it, but the trailer doesn't feel strange to me. But hopefully their decision to make it slightly more modern and less Victorian, makes sense. Honestly, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Philip Pullman, the author, is meant to be one of the executive producers, so that's always a plus. I'm always a fan of the author of the novel being involved, especially in these complicated stories. Just take Game of Thrones as an example. George R. Martin was involved for the first 4 seasons, and he used to write episodes now and then, but once he left, you could tell the show's quality did dip down. But unlike with his Dark Materials, Game of Thrones didn't actually have any source material later down in the series. The showrunners were having to make their own stuff up, whilst using ideas they learned from George. But with his Dark Materials, all the books are done. There's also meant to be a new trilogy called The Book of Dust. I've not even thought about them yet, as I've only on the first novel of his Dark Materials, but they seem to be set before, during and after the series. The first book, which I believe is called La Bella Sauvage, has been released, but it's unlikely they're going to touch that on the TV show anytime soon. Maybe sometime in the future. So guys, let me know what you think about the new series. Are you a fan of his Dark Materials, or are you finding it for the first time? I'm going to start covering the news and all that, find out when that release date is. So there's still plenty of time to finish the books if you haven't started yet. If you're interested in the new series, make sure you subscribe, as there's going to be a lot of videos on the channel. And don't forget to ring that little bell, turn them notifications on, as that's really important. And also, I'd really appreciate a like on this video, that helps me out a lot. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.